for sure there are studies to prove na it will brighten someone's mood or it will brighten your mood. And sabi nga nila, you can trick your mind, parang kung malungkot ka, isipin mo lang na masaya ka, tapos hindi ka na malungkot. Kasi nagigits yung point ko, nahirapan ako magpaliwanag. Hello? Sound check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, let's go. What is up everyone? Welcome to the Good Life with David podcast. Masaya ako na nandito ka ngayon para makinig ng ating panibagong podcast episode, and I'm hoping that if you're new to the channel, you'll be able to listen to the previous episodes that I have produced in the past. Kapag may pagkakataon, I produce episodes that I'm hoping people enjoy. Pasensya na kayo, I'm trying a brand new setup, so I'm hoping that the audio and video quality of this episode turns out good if you're listening to the YouTube channel or from the YouTube channel or from Spotify. Sana maganda yung quality. And I wanted to do this na medyo chill lang and not very formal. So if you're doing something, continue doing what you're doing. Pakinggan mo lang yung podcast episode sa yung earphones or sa pamamaano para don't stop what you're doing. Let's just think na nagkwentuhan tayo pero one way lang yung kwentuhan. For today, we will be talking about something that I have learned from my students. Okay? Before we dive into that, gusto ko lang i-share na 3 taon na ako nagtuturo ngayon sa aking high school alma mater. For 2 years, I served as a full-time teacher. I was teaching arts, PE, health, and for a year, I was teaching values education as well, ESP. And ngayon, meron na akong ibang full-time sa school, but I'm still teaching physical education, and I enjoy this experience a lot. And in the past 2 years, nung ako yung full-time teacher pa, I've learned a lot from my students. And these are just 5 of my favorite lessons I've learned from them. It's a humbling experience kasi ideally, teachers talaga dapat ang nagtuturo sa mga estudyante. Pero what I learned from sa mga teachers ko in the past, especially from this one person that I'll be talking about in a while, na we should always be humble enough to learn and accept correction from other people, especially if they are younger than you or they are in a way inferior of you. So parang if may possession ka na, yung subordinates mo or yung mga pinamumunuan mo, we should also accept learnings and corrections from them. And I'm saying this because not everyone, hindi lang mga guro, but not everyone, sadly, is capable of doing that. Okay? And I'm not pointing fingers to anyone, but I want to share a teacher I had in the past. Di ba usually, sa mga schools, ginagamit ang guidance counselor at ang guidance office bilang panakot sa mga bata. Di ba? Ganun yung nangyayari. And sadly, during my time in high school, ganun din yung nangyayari. Parang panakot yung guidance counselor namin and yung guidance office. And iwas na iwas kami doon sa guidance office para hindi kami masanksyonan. But we need to change that as well. Ito side topic lang to. Hindi dapat ganun. The guidance office should be a safe place for the students as well as the guidance counselor should be a safe person for the students. Ganun dapat yung magiging sistema. And I'm glad ang teacher na ako, at least ganun na yung nangyayari. Anyway, we had this guidance counselor back then, and even though medyo strict yung personality niya, she is one of the most kindest and softest person I know. Or persons I know. And to this day, na co-worker ko na siya, every time na magkikita kami, niyakap namin ng isa't isa, binabati namin ng isa't isa every time we see each other. Ganun ko siya ka-love. Ganun kagaan yung love ko kay ma'am. And shout out to you, Ma'am Joyce. I'm hoping that you're doing well and I'm excited to see you sa ating mga susunod na events. Anyway, isa sa mga paborito kong natutunan sa mga guru ko ay nakuha ko kay Ma'am Joyce. She taught us na kahit teacher ka, you are also or you should also be able to accept correction from others. Again, especially from students. Ang turo niya sa amin na siya, may pagkakataon na magkakamali siya, and us, the students, okay lang na i-correct namin siya. As long as we do it in a nice way. Hindi namin pwede, ay ma'am, mali ka, ba't ganito, ganyan? We have to do it in a kind and nice way. Pareho lang atin, synonym siya. But anyway, you get the point. And ever since, tumatak na siya sa akin and I'm trying my best to apply that as well to my students. There will be times I will get the wrong spelling. I will not have the correct pronunciation of a word, or magkakamali ako sa mga ilang kong ituturo. And I should be humble enough to accept na, sir, parang mali po ata yung pagkakabigkas nyo. Sir, parang hindi po yata yun yung spelling ng house. Narito pa sa spelling ng house. Pero nagigets niyo yung gusto kong ipunto. Natutunan ko from Ma'am Joyce na I should be able to be humble enough na makatanggap ako ng correction from others. And why am I sharing this with you na paulit-ulit? Because again, as I have mentioned, I'll be sharing with you 5 of my most favorite lessons I've learned from my students. And one of them, or one of those, pasensya na po sa English teacher ko, hirap na hirap ako mag-English. Try ko nga mag-Tagalog ng mas madalas. Isa doon ay ang, English na lang muna. You can never, or you cannot please everyone, and you shouldn't do it too. Okay? Natutunan ko to doon sa Kambal na I became very close with nung kanilang grade 10. Bakit nila to naituro sa akin indirectly? Because when I was in my first year of teaching, medyo maigo ako eh. Gusto ko ako favorite ng lahat. I wanted to be everyone's favorite teacher. And with that, I'm very open with extension of deadlines, or kahit yung mga ibang pinapasa na hindi deserve ng above satisfactory grade, binibigyan ko pa rin ng excellent. Ganun yung sistema ko dati, very giving, di ba? Very demure. Pero I have learned from them na I should be able to set boundaries, and hindi ko dapat tear down yung sarili kong boundaries just to accommodate people. Kasi ang nangyayari, nagkakaroon ako ng self-sabotage. Magsiset ako ng boundaries, magsiset ako ng rules, and then ako din na magbe-break nun in order to give way for people's excuses or people's request. And to this day, inaaral at sinusubukan ko pa rin matutunan na wag maging people pleaser. Na hindi ko dapat isabotage or i-abandon yung sarili ko just to accommodate others. Pero hindi naman ibig sabihin nun, I will purposely hurt other people. It's completely different. So that's number 1. Number 2, I am blind and I don't see my work. Yun yung natutunan ko sa ilang kong mga students, especially sa aking advisory class. During my first year of teaching, I think I was able to talk about this sa isa kong podcast episode. Umiyak-iyak pa ako doon, napaka-arte. Sabi ko, nung nakita ko yung mga mabababang scores ng mga students ko sa test exam, sa test nila, inangkin ko yun. Parang sabi ko, I'm a bad teacher, I'm not competent, hindi ako effective. Kasi kung effective ako at competent, they will be having higher scores. Yun yung naging reason at mentality ko. That's why I decided to quit teaching. Nagpasa na ako ng parang resignation letter. Letter of intent that intended na I will be quitting teaching. Parang ayoko na po magturo. Thankfully, God changed that mindset through experiences and people. And one of the ways God taught me is through my students as well. Sila din yung nagpa-realize sa akin na I'm doing okay, I'm doing well, and hindi ko dapat angkinin yung mga pagkukulang ng ilang mga estudyante. And in a way, nakatulong yun para makapag-adjust ako sa aking pagtuturo at sa aking approach para hindi ko kailangang angkinin yung mga lapses ng mga students ko. But in a way, I'll be able to help them or assist them in having action plans regarding their challenges. Pangatlo is being present means a lot. Natutunan ko to sa isa kong estudyante that I consider like my little kapatid. Bunso naman tawag ko sa kanila, pero parang kapatid na ang turing ko sa estudyante ko na to. Isa sa na-realize ko sa mga students ko na most of them, hindi nila kailangan ng tulong. Most of them, alam nila kung ano yung dapat nilang gawin o kung ano yung dapat nilang hindi gawin. And I have realized that most of them just want you to be present. Gusto lang nila na alam nila na there is someone, hindi specifically a teacher, that there is someone na nandyan for them. And I've learned this from a student kasi nga, I've asked the student, how can I help? Paano ako makakatulong sa sitwasyon na to? Wala naman po. Parang okay na ako na alam ko pong gusto nyo akong tulungan or willing kayo to help. And that simple lesson could be applied para sa iyong buhay. I'm sure na meron kang friend na on the outside, hindi, kaya ko to. On the outside, I can do this on my own. I don't need your help. Pero deep inside, they need someone to lean on. They need someone to listen to them without judgment. And I'm hoping that you could be that friend to that friend. Okay, gets niyo ba? So, yun yung pangatlong natutunan ko is being present means a lot sa mga tao. And also, sana hindi maging huli na bago natin ma-realize yung importance nung lesson number 3 na natutunan ko sa aking mga student. Yung being present means a lot. Number 4 is ito sa pinaka nakakatawa kong natutunan kasi feeling ko kasi I'm a jolly person. Pag nasa klase, energetic, masayahin. Pero hindi ko nare-realize na meron pala akong parang bugnuti na muka. So, ang thinking ko, I'm approachable. Pero sabi ng mga students ko sa evaluation nila sa akin, "Sir, you're not approachable. Lagi ka po nakasimangot pag nakakasalubong ka namin." And hindi sa dinedefend ko yung sarili ko, but most of the time, hindi ko kayo masyadong nakikita o naaaninag. And also, ganito na talaga yung mukha ko. Pero nung narinig ko to from my students, doon ko din na-realize na, oo nga, dapat akong mag-smile genuinely to my students. And to this day, sinusubukan ko pa rin siyang i-improve kasi nga natural na bugnutin at mukhang masungit yung mukha ko. Pero every time I go out of the faculty room, I try my best na ngitian lahat ng mga students, batiin sila ng nakangiti, na totoong ngiti, hindi yung plastic na ngiti. So, yun yung number 4 na akin natutunan. A genuine smile is important. And I'm hoping na kayo din, as you go out, as you hang out with friends, for sure there are strangers around you. It's not your obligation, pero it's not, parang wala namang mawawala kung we could offer a genuine smile to others. Lalo na, kunyari, may nag-abot ng bayad mo sa jeep, kung di ka verbally makapag-thank you, at least tanguan mo sila, ngitian. It helps a lot. And for sure, there are studies to prove na it will brighten someone's mood or it will brighten your mood. And sabi nga nila, you can trick your mind. Parang, kung malungkot ka, isipin mo lang na masaya ka. Tapos hindi ka na malungkot. Kasi nagiging yung point ko, nahirapan na magpaliwanag. Lastly, number 5, affirmation contributes greatly to a person's progress. Bakit ko ito nasasabi? Kasi nga bilang teacher, I have the capacity to give them evaluation sa kanilang output. And very guilty ako kasi there are times na naiipon lahat ng checkables ko at the end of the term. At ang kaya ko na lang i-accommodate is checkan yung kanilang output and then i-input itong mga grades nila sa grading sheet. Wala na akong opportunity to give them evaluation. Pero pinarealize sa akin ng ilan ko mga students na yung evaluation ko sa output nila is extremely helpful for them to improve, for them to adjust, and to do what is needed para mas mapaganda palalo yung kanilang mga pinapasa. And I'm also asking you, whatever you do, lalo na kapag you're in the workforce, ask for evaluations. Lalo na dun sa mga taong parati mo nakasama. If you're a teacher, I encourage you to ask and to ask for an evaluation. In my experience, ever since I started teaching, firm na sa akin na importante sa akin magkaroon ako ng evaluation from my students. Sadly, hindi siya practice sa school namin. Pero, syempre, bida-bida ako. Gumawa ko ng sarili kong Google Forms and then I send those out. I send that Google form to my students and I ask them to evaluate my teaching methods, my classroom management, or binibigyan ko rin sila ng opportunity to give me insights on areas I can improve. And recently, nabasa ko yung mga evaluations nila at marami akong need pang matutunan. Marami din akong ipinagpapasalamat because I've read a lot of positive evaluation naman. And that's motivation for me to always do better and to do better rest para sa benefit ng mga batang ito. And again, to wrap up, bilang isang guro na araw-araw ay nakakatagpo at nakakalubilo ng mga estudyanteng ito, ako mismo ay nagkaroon ng mga lessons na nakuha sa kanila. Natuto din ako mula sa mga buhay ng mga batang ito. At ang 5 iyon, to wrap up, 1, you can never please everyone and you shouldn't do it too. Hindi mo dapat i-please sa mga tao at isabotage yung sarili mo along the way. Number 2, I am blind and I don't see my work. Baka kayo din, binubugbog niyo yung sarili niyo sa mga thoughts na hindi ako magaling, hindi ako mahusay, this and that. Wag daw ganun, sabi ng mga students ko. Number 3, being present is extremely important, or being present means a lot to many people. Number 4, a genuine smile is important. Number 5, affirmation contributes greatly to a person's progress. Naalala ko lang, meron akong pinuduce na blog about this. Baka iba na yung mga nakalagay doon. But this is the original content of this story. Ito talaga yung una ko nasulat parang 2 years ago nung niready ko tong podcast outline na to, and 2024 October, ngayon ko lang siya sinut. And I know I've been saying this ever since, pero I'll try my best to find time to record podcast episodes for those of you na nakikinig. Alam kong bilang lang kayo sa kamay, pero I am very grateful that you exist and you listen to the podcast episodes that I produce, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to improve production-wise and then content-wise. Sana mas marong pang kabuluhan yung mga maibabahagi ko sa inyo. And I know, sa sobrang daldal ko, parating matagal yung length ng ating podcast episode, but I'm grateful and thankful. Pareho lang yan. But I'm thankful that you are able, that you choose to finish the episodes that I produce for you. And share ko lang, originally when I wrote this podcast script outline, nakalagay sa conclusion, sabi ko dito na need kong sabihin, explain that you may be stopping from teaching, but you will continue to hold on to these lessons for life. So, things change, things happened, nagtuturo pa rin ako. Masaya naman ako, pero pero katulad nga na natutunan ko sa PNU, lahat ng ginagawa ko at dapat nagagawin ko ay para sa bata at para sa bayan. So, muli, maraming salamat sa mga naging mga estudyante ko sa 3 taon kong pagtuturo. Salamat din sa mga estudyante ko ngayong taon na meron pa tayong ilang buwan na pagsasamahan. I am not promising anything, but I'm hoping I was able to give you a glimpse of our school year nung first term natin, na mas magiging masaya pa ang mga susunod nating talakayan sa physical education. Even though we only meet for 45 minutes a week. Tanggalin na yung matatag curriculum. Joke lang po. Joke lang, huwag niyo po akong papapatay. Hahaba pa to ng hahaba if I let my thoughts run through. So, dito ko na ito tatapusin. So, sobrang bihira ako mag-record ng podcast. Hindi ko na sa ulo yung outro ko. But, again, I am happy and thankful that you're here. I hope that you're doing well. I will be praying for you. And if you have any prayer requests, send them through a message or any channel na mababasa ko, and then I'll pray for them. And see you on the next episode of the Good Life with David podcast. Ayun lang. God bless you. Mahal ka ni Lord. And bye-bye.